All right, so every single week I hear some version of this. We want to move to St. Augustine, park the car, and just walk everywhere. And honestly, I love that. But here's the thing. Nobody puts in the listing description walkable unless it really means something, because it could be completely different depending on where you actually live in this city. Because St. Augustine is basically split by water, bridges, and tourist patterns that can turn a 2-mile trip into a 40-minute ordeal. Today I'm breaking down the 3 neighborhoods that people ask me about because they are walkable: Lincolnville, Davis Shores, and the Uptown and North City area. I'm going to tell you what you can actually walk to, what still is going to require your car keys, so you could see which one fits your lifestyle. So let's get into it. Before I break down the neighborhoods, I want to set a baseline for what I mean when I say truly walkable, because I'm not talking about the sidewalks. They're nice, but that's not what I'm talking about. This is the question I usually get. Can you live your normal life? Coffee, dinner, errands, a little exercise, and access to the good stuff without getting in your car most days. That's the bar. It's a high bar, because in St. Augustine, a place can look close on a map and feel completely different in real life once you factor in bridge crossings, drawbridge timing, weather, and the seasonal tourist traffic that makes peak season feel like a different city entirely. There's also one hard truth I'm going to say up front and repeat throughout this video. In all 3 of these neighborhoods, you're probably walking for lifestyle and driving for groceries and other types of services. None of these neighborhoods put a full-service supermarket in easy walking distance. We'll get into that. But let's go neighborhood by neighborhood. The first one is Lincolnville. Lincolnville is one of those neighborhoods that feels like an actual community, not just a place near the tourist zone. It's historic, it's social, and it has that front porch energy where people genuinely know their neighbors. They see each other on the sidewalk and stay connected to what's going on in the city. It's one of St. Augustine's oldest and most storied neighborhoods, and you feel that when you're in it. If you've ever wanted the I walk out my front door and I'm basically downtown feeling, this is the closest you get without being right on top of St. George Street. What you can actually walk to in Lincolnville is the downtown access. You are legitimately positioned to make walking your default mode of anything downtown related. You have local cafes, live music, venues, bars, events, the waterfront, Flagler College. All of that is genuinely accessible on foot in a way that most neighborhoods in St. Augustine can't claim. For daily walks and recreation, Lincolnville also has one of my favorite spots in the city, Lake Maria Sanchez. If you want a scenic loop, calm water, and that I'm in the middle of the city, but it doesn't feel like it kind of vibe, the walking paths around that lake are a real quality of life perk. Eddie Vickers Park is another park with pickleball and a path, and there's also Freedom Park overlooking the river. Now here's where I'm going to save you from a very common fantasy. Groceries, you're driving. Full-service grocery stores like Winn-Dixie are on South Ponce, another on North Ponce, Publix out near 312. Those are several miles from the historic core, unrealistic on foot, especially in Florida heat. Big box stores, pharmacy runs, bulk shopping are all car trips. And the beach, I hear people say they want to walk to the beach from Lincolnville, and I have to gently explain that's not really this neighborhood. The beach is on Anastasia Island across the bridge. You can get there, but you're not casually strolling over with a towel on your shoulder. If beach access is central to your lifestyle, we need to talk about a different neighborhood. Who Lincolnville is perfect for? If you want downtown to be your backyard, restaurants, events, the historic district, the community energy, and you're totally fine driving for grocery runs, doctors, and beach days. Lincolnville is a genuinely strong choice. It's walkable in the ways that make daily life feel vibrant. Just go in knowing what it is and what it isn't. Our next stop is Davis Shores. Davis Shores is on Anastasia Island, and this is where a lot of people land when they want the best of both worlds. Close to downtown, but on the island side of life. You get wider streets in many areas, a more coastal and nautical feel, and you're right across from the historic district in a way that feels different from being inside it. A little more residential, a little more breathing room. And the thing that makes Davis Shores truly unique, love it or hate it, is the Bridge of Lions connection. This bridge is iconic. It's beautiful, and it's the link between this neighborhood and everything on the historic downtown side. What you can actually walk to Let's start with the bridge because it's the whole story here. The Bridge of Lions is open to pedestrians and cyclists, which means you can genuinely walk from Davis Shores into the historic downtown St. Augustine. That's not nothing. In a city where parking is increasingly painful and traffic during peak season is real, being able to skip all of that on foot is significant lifestyle perk. Anastasia Boulevard gives you a solid strip of everyday lifestyle stops, restaurants, coffee, breweries, fitness and wellness studios, roller skating rink. Spots like Osprey Tacos are right there. If you're into gyms, yoga, boutique, fitness, there are options along Anastasia Boulevard and nearby that you can reach on foot or by bike without much trouble. So the Davis Shores Daily Loop looks like this for a lot of people. Coffee or breakfast locally, a walk or bike ride across the bridge for something downtown, maybe a fitness class, all without touching the car. For lifestyle and movement, this neighborhood delivers. You could even bike to the beach if you want from here. The bridge reality check. Here's the part nobody tells you. The Bridge of Lions is a drawbridge and it's the main gateway in and out of this part of Anastasia Island. So your quick popover can absolutely turn into a wait depending on boat traffic and timing. During peak season for boaters, that bridge can open on the top of every hour and half hour. It's not a deal breaker for most people, but you need to know it is a variable. Your experience in Davis Shores can also change a lot depending on exactly where in the neighborhood you are. Some parts have a very easy walkable feel, others require more of a walk just to get to the walkable stuff. And groceries, same story as Lincolnville. Full grocery shopping is a drive. Most Davis Shores residents head to a St. Augustine Beach area. There's a Publix there and a Winn-Dixie across the street, but it's further south on A18, so it's a little bit of a pain. There is nothing close by. But Davis Shores does have a convenience store, a liquor store, actually a couple, and a butcher shop. So that is a definite plus for people living in this area. Who Davis Shores is perfect for? If you want downtown access and you want to feel like you live on the island side of town, Davis Shores is genuinely the best of both worlds. Just understand that the bridge is both the magic and the choke point. And it's also a major flood zone, which I've discussed in many other videos. So if you have questions, just let me know in the comments below or shoot me an email. But back to the bridge, because you need to plan around it. I personally try not to hit it at the top or the half hour just because there could be a boat there and they're gonna be going through and that's gonna cause a bit of a delay. So you just might have to plan around that because it may frustrate you if you live there and you go downtown often. Next up is Uptown and North City. It's one of the areas I find myself recommending more and more to people who want walkability, but don't want to live inside the tourist bubble every single day. The Uptown area, even though touristy, has a local vibe with a charming main corridor. You're still close enough to enjoy everything St. Augustine offers. You're just not inside the most intense foot traffic as your daily default. What you can actually walk to, San Marco Avenue, it's the anchor here. We're talking some really great shops, restaurants, cafes, and historic sites along the Uptown stretch. Antique shops, boutiques, local spots with real character, a wine bar, coffee. People are going to be happy here. Spots like Juniper Cafe and Dose Coffee have a real local vibe. These give you that morning walk routine that makes living somewhere feel like life, not just an address. And here's one of my favorite specific things about Uptown. And the city gates, which is basically the threshold of historic downtown, is about a 10 to 15 minute walk from most of Uptown. So you have the access. You can be downtown when you want to be. You're just not living on top of it. There are also professional services woven into Uptown. There's a dental office and some other local services. So you can genuinely walk to the dentist from some homes in this neighborhood. That's a small thing, but it adds up over time. There's also an Ace Hardware, which makes living up that way so much easier when you need that one part to fix the toilet and you don't have to drive 15 minutes to Home Depot. Now with this area, there is a reality check when it comes to the grocery situation. The large format stores are a few miles out. Winn-Dixie on North Ponce, Publix on 16. In the Florida heat, that's a drive, it's not a walk. Target, big box, anything, Home Depot, those are all going to be car trips no matter where you live in this area of St. Augustine. Uptown is no different. Beyond that, Uptown has a curated feeling, walkable zone, but it is a zone. Once you step outside of San Marco and the immediate surrounding blocks, a lot of what you might need is a drive away. It's a beautiful daily loop. It's just not a full infrastructure of walkable services. Who Uptown is perfect for? If your dream is walk to coffee, browse a few shops, get some fresh air on a genuinely pleasant street, retreat to a quieter residential street like Fullerwood, and occasionally stroll to the historic district, Uptown is excellent. It's also ideal for people who want the charming neighborhood feel over the downtown feel. So let's bring it home. Lincolnville is your pick if downtown living is a priority. You're closest to the historic district, the community energy is real, the daily walks to restaurants and events is achievable. Beach walking isn't really in the picture, but if you're okay driving for beaches and groceries and you want the city to feel like your front yard, this is your neighborhood. Davis Shores is the best middle ground for people who want both. You get the island feel, the Bridge of Lions connection to downtown, and a walkable lifestyle strip along Anastasia Boulevard. The bridge is the variable. When it flows, it's the best setup in the city. When it doesn't, you'll feel it. Groceries are still a drive, but you are closest to the beach. So if you want to take a bike ride to Anastasia State Park, you absolutely can. Uptown is the choice if you want to be north of downtown, you want to be in a beautiful walkable corridor, quieter streets, real access to the historic district without living inside the tourist center, and a neighborhood that actually feels like a place where people live. Big errands are still a drive, but the daily rhythm here is pleasant. And for all three of these neighborhoods, let me say this one more time, so it really lands. You are walking for lifestyle and driving for groceries, doctors, and other services. All three give you, I can walk to coffee and dinner life. None of them put a full grocery store in easy reach. That is the honest reality of walkability in historic St. Augustine. Now, if you want my honest take on which of these fits your lifestyle specifically, drop a comment and tell me what walkable actually means to you. Is it coffee every morning, dog walks, getting to dinner without worrying about parking, maybe the theater, being near the beach? Because the answer changes depending on what you're really after. Now, if you're looking to move to St. Augustine, but want to make sure you don't regret it, watch this video right here. I do cover this city in a lot of depth. Subscribe if you want more honest takes on St. Augustine neighborhoods, and check the description if you want to get in touch directly. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I will see you on the next one.